Xbox opened the gates to the next generation today, and it was supposed to be an 80-mile-per-hour acceleration into the future of gaming. Instead, I felt like it was more of a 30-mile-per-hour neighborhood cruise that left me utterly disappointed. What's going on, everybody? It's GhostRobo. You guys know I love next gen. You guys know I've been insanely pumped for this year and what it is to bring for a while now. I'm so ready for the new consoles, new games, new experiences. I love that stuff. And so when Microsoft came forth and said, we are about to unveil the new generation of games, it'll be third party, Halo Infinite, that's safe for July, but it'll be third party and games that are going to be amazing on Xbox Series X, focusing on gameplay. I was ready for some heavy hitters. No Batman, no Battlefield. Frankly, nothing that was surprising or momentous, save for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and goodness gracious, I don't think Ubisoft knows what gameplay means anymore. This showcase will inevitably deliver some very cool games. Don't get me wrong, there are titles here, like this first one, that I think are going to be very fun to play. But if I'm Microsoft and I'm trying to convince you to buy a $500+ system, this is not the opening salvo that I would have started with. Let me know in the comments down below how you felt about Microsoft's showcase today and how you're feeling about buying an Xbox Series X. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and are excited for next gen, because look, no matter what, I'm still excited for these consoles. I still know that Microsoft has their best stuff saved for later. They say July is going to be first party focused. They've got events every month. Jeff Keighley has organized a summer of gaming. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for the major studios and major publishers to reveal their heavy hitters. And I still firmly believe this year, despite COVID and despite the delays, is going to yield some incredible games. I mean, even current gen stuff like Last of Us 2, Cyberpunk 2077 on the horizon, looking amazing. But as soon as we started with Bright Memory, which is a game that has a Chapter 1 on PC and is made by a very small team, I knew we were in for a weird show. And I think that Jeff Gertzman of Giant Bomb really expressed the opinion or sort of the reaction to this presentation the best. He said Microsoft was kind of misleading in that they described this as the debut of next-gen gaming, as the debut for Xbox Series X, and really it probably should have been labeled an indie showcase with a few surprises. Again, some of these games will be very fun, but if you're going to try and sell me a $500 to $600 box that after taxes and controllers and games is going to cost me close to $1,000, I really think you should start off with something shocking, something awe-inspiring, or something that says, oh my gosh, I have to buy this system. And so maybe this drip feed of information, their desire to have new reveals every month, is going to bite them in the butt. And look, given the current state of affairs, I'm super impressed and proud and happy that they were able to put forth any show. But I have to be honest, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This show was disappointing. There was no promise or guarantee of what developers or publishers would be present, but come on. And the smart delivery system, I think that's a home run idea. I really do. I think it's so consumer friendly. And basically that's the idea that if you buy a game on the current Xbox, it will also work on the Xbox Series X for free. You'll get that upgraded version. I'm not a fan of upgraded versions. That's not a reason why I rebuy a game or even replay a game. So the fact that we get it for free, thumbs up. I like it. I probably won't take advantage of it too often. Like if I play Cyberpunk 2077 on Xbox One, I don't know that I'll replay it on Xbox Series X just because it looks prettier. That's just not my style. But it's still a great get for consumers, and it lets you know that if you buy Madden 21, well, Madden 21 is a little bit of a different story. They've got some caveats, their smart delivery. But in theory, if you buy Madden 21 on Xbox One, you'll be able to get Madden 21 on Xbox Series X. And as we transition to a new generation, that is a wonderful and really consumer-friendly and atypical decision that I applaud. It also makes me entirely confused why, as of right now, anyone would want to drop $500-$600 on an Xbox Series X. Yes, games will run better. Yes, games will look a little better. But if I can play all of these games on the Xbox I have right now and spend no dollars on new hardware and instead focus all that money on the new games, why would I buy a Series X? I can spend $500, right? And I can get 8 games. Or I can spend $500 and get a Series X that plays the exact same games that my current system can play. I don't know about you, but I'm choosing 8 games over a new console that plays the same games at a better frame rate and with ray tracing. I don't know. I just think that smart delivery is a shining star for the Xbox team, and I think it's also a strange thing to push so heavily because it tells me I don't need a new console because your games are going to, consumer-friendly wise, work for me on my current system. You could look at it and say, well, no, you buy the new system and now you get the game twice, but I'm telling you, I'm not a player that wants the game twice. I'm a player that wants to look forward to something big, bold, and bombastic. And Microsoft has already said that the first year or two of Xbox Series X will not have exclusives, which I think is a unprecedented decision. I know that we often have cross-gen titles when we enter a new generation, but to say that the first year or two of Xbox games will not be exclusive to the new system, why spend the money? Money is going to be tight this year. People are losing their jobs left and right. Who knows how the economy bounces back? Why spend $500-600 for some extra frames and some extra visual flair? Again, I think some of these games look cool, but this title right here, first of all, it's like so gross. Maybe it ends up being a really good game, but like this is not a system seller. And I would think that you would want to start off with a system seller. And it's going to be really interesting to see. Sony's conference is rumored to be, or their presentation is rumored to be in a couple of weeks. If Sony comes out hard hitting with some exclusives, whether it's like Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Spider-Man 2, I don't know, something that is big and only on PS5, it's going to make this Microsoft presentation look very paltry. And Xbox has another chance in July to wow us with Halo Infinite. It's rumored that they have a new Fable, a new Perfect Dark, a new Gears. They are relying on their stable of franchises that I think are solid, but what I was really looking forward here was to see what new IP and what new games were going to be best on Xbox Series X. And yes, maybe these indies will be best on Series X, and maybe they'll be really cool. But this is not how I would ever start the conversation on a new generation of systems. And gameplay, I appreciate Microsoft saying that they pay attention to internet forums and posts, and they know we want gameplay, but they did not give us gameplay. They gave us in-engine. That's a step in the right direction, but that's not gameplay. What you just saw right there from Scorn is not gameplay. And most importantly, and most disappointingly, what you saw from Assassin's Creed Valhalla is not gameplay. They said it so many times as if to make us think it was gameplay, but that is not gameplay. When you have an in-engine cinematic trailer showcasing the idea of the game, that is not gameplay. Gameplay is what you and I play. I'm going to show you gameplay. That could be gameplay right there. It may not have the HUD, it may not have the UI, but that is gameplay from the perspective of the player. What Assassin's Creed Valhalla has, and I'm going to skip to it right now, is not gameplay. Where is it? Okay, this guy's talking about backgrounds for his computer, which I thought was an odd flex, but all right. Assassin's Creed comes after. This Yakuza game looks actually pretty neat. Where is your Assassin's Creed little bit here? We gonna go to Assassin's Creed? Can you give me Assassin's Creed? Here. This ain't gameplay. In-engine, sure, but is this gameplay? When you play Assassin's Creed, is this what happens? These cinematic shots that are from camera angles that you'll never see in the game? This isn't gameplay. So the fact that Ubisoft keeps trying to say gameplay trailer, and this is what they give us is, I feel it's almost silly. It's almost disrespectful of gamers that understand this is not what Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be like when you play. Maybe it is a mood trailer or a cinematic experience trailer, but they kept saying gameplay, and I was really looking forward to the gameplay reveal of Assassin's Creed Valhalla to see what the systems, or at least the character, or at least the areas, or at least the perspective, or at least the graphics really look like, and this isn't it. These are not gameplay shots. Maybe they're cutscenes. That is not gameplay. That is cinematic. You will never play Assassin's Creed Valhalla from this perspective, so I just had to air that out there. I love the team behind this game. The creative director is a winner. I know he will deliver a great title. I'm excited for Valhalla. This is not gameplay, and this is what Microsoft hung their hats on for the show. Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay reveal, which wasn't gameplay. You know, so it's just it's a bit of a bummer to me. That's the closest we get to gameplay, and it's still not the right perspective. This vampire game looks pretty cool. This is probably my favorite thing of the entire show. It's still not like a massive thing. And Madden 21, we got literally 2 seconds of gameplay. And it was still from a cinematic angle. It was in-engine. It wasn't really Madden gameplay. They showed us all these past Madden gameplays and then gave us a cinematic camera angle of Patrick Mahomes running for a touchdown. This gave me Joker vibes, and I liked it a lot. Again, I'm not trying to disparage the quality of the games present. I think there will be ones I really like and you really like. In particular, this Vampire the Masquerade title. But if you're not going to have Halo at your big reveal, if you're not going to have Fable or Perfect Dark, if you're not going to have Forza 8, if you're not going to have your tried and true beloved franchises that I don't, personally, I think that they should expand out. I don't think they should just rely on Gears, Halo, Forza, Fable, and Perfect Dark to carry and buoy their next-gen console into a stellar sales season. I think they really need something new. We look at Sony's IP of Horizon and Spider-Man, of Last of Us and Uncharted, of even Days Gone and Ghost of Tsushima, Infamous, these titles that they can draw from, and these titles that they will draw from. It's just an insanely superior set of titles. Anyhow, I fully would have expected them to work out a deal with some major title, even if it's cross-gen, even if it's multi-platform, a third party that would wow us. Elden Ring, Battlefield, Batman, come on. They brought Madden into the fray. They have a new Bandai Namco title. Those are exciting, but they're not at the caliber of System Seller. This felt like a C or B tier presentation, and maybe it was all in the framing. If Microsoft had come out and said, hey, we've got the first look at some new games coming to Xbox family of systems in 2020 and 2021, a lot of interesting indie titles that we're excited to work with, great, then this show hits a whole lot differently. But when they label it and call it and hype it as the big reveal for the first gameplay of Xbox Series X, I mean, they're not wrong. It is the first gameplay for Xbox Series X, at least for some of the games. But that makes everyone think and believe that we're going to get something far bigger than what we saw. Also, huge missed opportunity to not have the world premiere announcer in this presentation. Why, Microsoft? It's one of the coolest things you got going. So far, I think Xbox has nailed their rollout of Series X. They got out ahead of Sony. Sony throws out the logo and gets a ton of likes, but Microsoft has been doing good legwork. They have been showing you the system. They've been showing you the controller. They've talked about smart delivery, and they've talked about how the systems are going to interlink and how it's so powerful. They've done a great job, and I feel like this is their real big goof. They need to recover in a super strong way. July must be a home run. It must showcase why next gen is worth $1,000. It must highlight why Xbox is the console to get. Because as of right now, if I like these games, if I enjoyed this presentation, I will keep my Xbox One and I'll use that money to buy these cool games. I don't need a new console. Power, frame rate, specs, ray tracing, cool. I don't know that it's $500-$600 cool. I don't know that it is. And I think I'm going to find it hard to justify an Xbox Series X because they refuse to have exclusives. It's super consumer friendly, and it's better for the developers and publishers to expand their games to a far larger audience. They will have much better sales. But what is the motivation? Ask yourself. What is the impetus, the reason to open your wallet and shell out $500, $600, $700 for a system controller and games that has better frame rate and better resolution, but you can play the games in great glory, in perfect form, on the system you already own? They need to show us great games that cement the Xbox brand as the place to play for gaming. And they need to show us, if they're not going to have exclusives, they need to show us and clearly establish, which I know is hard to do over live streams that have compression and a difficulty to really interpret graphics, but they need to find a way to show us why you need a Series X besides telling me that it is the best place to play these games. Because how much better is this title right here going to look on Series X than on my Xbox One X? I am sitting next to an Xbox One X that I spent $400 on. That system is a good system. It's maybe the best system. So why not play these games there? That's what I leave you with. Why not play this lineup of cool looking, smaller games there? I don't think this was the way to launch us into the next generation. I'm very nervous for what Microsoft is going to do next, and I hope that they take it seriously, that this event was not received well. Because across the board, I've seen a lot of people say they're disappointed. And I'm not talking about Xbox fanboys versus PS5 fanboys, PlayStation fanboys. I'm excited for both systems. I want them both to succeed. I want both consoles to justify why they are worth it. And look, I feel like these companies need to tell us why we should buy their systems. They genuinely need to justify and convince us to spend. It's not just spend because it's new. It's not just spend because the tech specs look great. Why buy the system? Convince me. It's $500-$600 of my hard-earned money, your hard-earned money, in a year where that money is probably going to be tough to come by. Why buy it? This show did not convince me. I'll wait for the next opportunity and see what they can do. And I think Sony has to be salivating. The rumor is that their conference is in a couple of weeks. If they come out with exclusives, with first party, they already have the advantage because this generation, they clearly were the dominant console. Their freaking logo was one of the most liked posts ever. If they come out with big first party titles and some exclusives, the conversation is going to flip dramatically. Let's wait and see. Give me your take in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you are excited for next gen. I'm still super excited. Look, at the end of the day, I want them both to be great. I'm pumped. I just expected more. I'm always gonna be honest with you guys, and that's how I felt. Until next time, everybody. Thanks again for watching. Drink so much chocolate. Stay safe and stay healthy out there. I appreciate your support. I love you a lot. We will see you all later.